Hey, what's going on, guys? So we just got the announcement of the new PoE expansion, which is called Siege of the Atlas. And the most important changes in this expansion are changes to the Atlas. And most importantly, the simplification of the Atlas. So in today's video, I want to talk about all of the changes and then about what I think is going to be the new progression of the Atlas. So let's jump straight into it. So this is how the new Atlas is going to look like. And first of all, you will probably notice that there are no longer regions on the Atlas. Now we have just a nice simple progression from the bottom to the top. So at the bottom we have white maps, then we have yellow, and then the red ones. So the way we will progress, we will just start here, complete all of the white maps to just gain the bonus objectives, then do all of the yellow ones, and then move on to the red ones. So there are no longer Watchstones, so you don't need to kill the conquerors to put Watchstones into the Atlas to upgrade your tier. Now you just see all of the maps immediately and you can just progress towards them. But we kept Watchstones in different way. Now we have the Voidstones, but there are only 4 of them now, and 2 of them you will drop from the new bosses, which I will talk about in a bit, and the other 2 you drop from the Maven and from the Uber Elder. And these Voidstones will improve the map tiers by 4. So if you have all 4 of the Voidstones, you will have all of your maps as tier 16s. But that's not really a requirement, and these bosses are pretty hard, so most of the people will just complete all of the white maps, then yellow maps, then just stick to farming these red maps, and then once you have enough currency to upgrade your build and be able to kill the bosses, then you can focus on killing these bosses and upgrade all of your maps to tier 16 just to have some more quality of life, to be able to farm different maps, not just the top ones. On top of that, the favorite system has been reworked, and now we have 12 maps that we can choose as the favorite, and each map that you choose is going to increase the drop rate of that map by 10 times. So you can choose the same map 12 times. So if you choose the same map 12 times, it will be improved by 120 times. And because we have 117 maps on the Atlas, that basically means 1 in 2 maps dropped will be the same map. Obviously you can choose 6 of the same type of the map and 6 of the other one. This way you will drop 2 different maps, but that's your choice. Now, what is the reason why you want to unlock all of the maps other than just having bonus objectives for having higher chance to drop higher tier maps? So because there is no Atlas regions, now we got one big passive tree for all of the league mechanics instead of 4 ones for 4 different regions. And I am actually very happy that we finally got it. For the last few years I actually wanted the one big tree for the league mechanics, and when we got the Maven expansion and we got Atlas passives for 4 different regions, I actually was quite disappointed, and now we actually finally got one big tree, which I am happy about. And now we have 117 points to spend on this tree, because each map completed with bonus objective will give us 1 Atlas passive point. So again, at the end we will have 117 to spend in here. This is why you should focus on completing these objectives to have all of the Atlas passes. But if you still want more passives, then at the end you can also unlock another additional 15 passive points from doing the Maven invitations, so 11 from them and 4 from killing the new bosses. And here's an example of one of the new Atlas passives, and this one gives 4% chance that you will encounter a Legion. If you remember old Atlas passives, there was one that would give 8 or 10% chance, so these ones are weaker, but that's understandable because now we have so many Atlas passives, it makes sense that each one of them is weaker. Okay, so now let's move on to the new bosses and the new influences. So the way new boss progression system works is now we have 3 different influences on the map device that you can choose to apply to a map. So you can choose only one of them, and there is the old Maven influence and there is also 2 of the new ones. So there is one for Eater of Worlds and second one for the Searing Exile. And let's talk about each one of them one by one. So the first one is Maven. This one will be working the same way as it did before, so you will just apply it. The Maven will improve the map boss. After you do it a few times, you will be able to do the Maven invitation with all of the bosses and then continue doing that a few times, and after a while you will be able to drop the Maven Splinters, then do the Maven Encounter, and then drop the Maven Voidstone. And the way the other 2 influences work is that if you choose, let's say, Eater of Worlds influence for your map, there will be some influence monsters in that map, and after you complete it, then you apply this influence to another map. That map is gonna have more influence monsters, and you continue doing that multiple times, and then eventually the map is going to have a mini boss in it. So for the Eater of Worlds, it's gonna have the Infinite Hunger mini boss, and for the Searing Exarch, is gonna have the Black Star mini boss. And if you do that in the red maps and you do the influence maps enough times, you will encounter 2 new bosses, which are again Eater of Worlds and Searing Exarch. And if you kill them, you will drop their Voidstones. Now in the influence maps, we will be able to encounter the altars that you can just skip if you want to, but if you want to, you can choose one of their modifiers. So for example here, one of them will give a map boss drop +1 Eldritch currency, which is one of the new currencies, but it will also make the boss harder because it will apply shock. Alternatively, you can choose the second one, which will give you higher quantity, but it will also make you spawn grasping tentacles around you. So this will just add more difficulty to your map, but it will also increase your drops, and you can encounter these altars multiple times in the same map. And here are how the new bosses look like. So this one is the mini boss Infinite Hunger, this is the second mini boss Black Star, and here we have Eater of Worlds and the Searing Exiles. Now also the Sextants has been changed. Now we no longer can drop the Prime and Simple Sextants, we can only drop Awakened Sextants from map tier 14 and above, but now they also have higher drop chance, and we still can drop the Elevated Sextant from the Maven. And now how they work, we will be able to apply them to the Voidstones, and then these so 4 of them, and then these Sextants will be applied to all of the maps. And on top of that, we got some new Sextant modifiers. For example, there is one that makes all of your breaches Chayula breaches. So if you are planning to farm breaches, that would be a very powerful Sextant modifier for your strategy. But if you get that Sextant modifier that you don't really like, we have a new currency, Surveyor compass, which you can apply as sextant to this currency, and then you can basically sell it. So if you, again, let's say, get the sextant modifier that turns all of your breaches into Chayula breaches, you can just run it, or you can use Surveyor's Compass to make that sextant modifier itemized, and you can sell it, and we will be able to buy these compasses from the Kirak. Okay, so now to sum things up, how do I think the progression will look like? So I think there will be two ways you can progress your atlas. So first way is if you want to focus on mapping, and second way if you want to focus on bossing. So if you want to focus on mapping, you'll pretty much just focus on your bonus objectives, because if you complete them, again, you will get your atlas passives, and they are very important for mapping. So if you do that, you will just complete all of your white maps, yellow maps, and red maps. Then you will have all of your atlas passives, and then you can just start farming the high red maps with a lot of atlas passives, and you can just do your strategy. If you want to, you can do that even earlier. You can do that in yellow or maybe even in white maps if you have enough atlas passives so that you can do your strategy. Eventually, obviously, you can farm enough currency to be able to kill the endgame bosses, or you can just buy carry for them. Then you can unlock your Voidstones, and then you can improve your strategies by applying Sextants into your Voidstones, and in the meantime you can unlock all of your favorite system to drop more of the map that you like, and obviously you will have all of your maps are tier 16s, so you will not be limited to the top maps. And if you want to focus on bossing, then you don't really care about atlas passives. There will be some of them for the bossing, but you probably won't care about them that much. You will mostly care about reaching the bosses as fast as possible. So you will be focusing on influence progression. So Maven, Eater of Souls, and Searing Exarch progression. And most of them require you to be in red maps to be able to progress them. So what you will want to do is you will want to just clear enough white maps to progress towards yellow ones, then clear enough yellow ones to progress to red maps, and then continue your influence progression and eventually be able to fight the bosses. Obviously that will require a pretty good build that can do red maps very fast and do bosses efficiently, and also you will have to do enough maps to sustain your maps. But if you do that, you will also unlock more of the atlas passives, so you will be able to put that towards some of the bossing atlas passives. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what do you think about the atlas changes and how do you think the new progression is gonna look like, and see you next time.